What is up, guys? Zane from the Madden channel. In today's video, we're going to test a theory out there that came out last night that the secure pass protector ability actually has counter properties to some of the run stopping chemistries that we're seeing on defensive tackles in Madden 20. But before we get into that, guys, please make sure you take a quick second, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you guys get notifications whenever I upload here to the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden live, check me out on twitch.tv/ozano. Link is in the description. You guys can watch me play some completely mediocre Madden. Also, the subs on that channel will get exclusive sub tips that you will not find here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. Okay, guys, without further ado, pretty excited to get into this test today. Want to go ahead and try to see how this ability or these pairings of these abilities go head to head, and try to figure out what's really going on here with the abilities, especially on the offensive line and defensive line. So last night, there was kind of a tweet floating around that inside stuff ability is really, really OP, and that there's really no direct counter to it. And one of the Madden devs and MCS personality, RG, hopped on Twitter and responded, and he said that basically the secure pass protector ability has some properties to stop the run block shedding of the inside stuff. Now let's go ahead and read the actual abilities here as it pertains to some of those players on both offense and defense. So starting off with Rodney Hudson, secure protector. He has stronger pass protection versus quick block shed moves. And in terms of how it reads, this is a pass protection ability. So it's, without me trying to get too emotional here, it's March. We've been playing the game for 7 months. And if true, there's a pass protection ability that actually helps out your run game. Now, let's go ahead and read it further. Here's what the inside stuff ability says. Calais Campbell, inside stuff, quicker run sheds against inside zone plays. We're going to go ahead and put that to the test. Now, furthermore, we're actually going to test Cameron Jordan. He's got the run stopper ability, and that's just quick block sheds and tackles while engaged by run blocks. So this is basically not the inside stuff, but we're just going to go ahead and throw it in there in this test, probably give a few reps and just see if that's really impactful at all, or if the secure pass protector can kind of shut them down. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do, guys, is we are going to get on the field here. We're in the Oakland book, which is one of the most popular running books in the game. And we're going to start off with the wing flex close. Now we're going to run the halfback dive. And if you look to the right, that is a ISO concept. This is not an inside zone run. So we're going to run the halfback dive. Now on defense, we're going to go ahead and run 3-4 odd, and we're going to run the 3-4 odd cover 4 drop show 2 run defensive meta with Calais Campbell, who we've traded from the Jags to the Saints for the purpose of this test, one-on-one against the blocker. So we're going to run this run defensive meta, and we're going to count through this and see what type of success, if any, Rodney Hudson is having on this ISO concept, which is not an inside zone, against Calais Campbell, who has inside stuff, which again says quicker run sheds against inside zone plays. So one, we're looking for Calais Campbell to see if he actually lights up against ISO concepts, and it's not just inside zones, it also applies to ISO. And two, we're looking to see if he does light up, if the secure pass protector can do anything to nullify him lighting up and using his ability. So let's go ahead and run this ball right at this interaction here between Rodney Hudson and Calais Campbell. So we see he lights up, gets kind of staved off. So we'll call that a 1-for-1. So the ability appears to be lighting up underneath Calais Campbell, unless it's just visual effects. So what we're seeing right now is even if you run an ISO, inside stuff should light up. Now we run it here, 2-for-2. So far, so good. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll continue running this here, try to get that the same interaction between these guys, try to get as close to as we possibly can. 3-for-3. Looks like so far so good here for this ability. Continue to run it. We'll try to run this between 10 and 20 times to get a real sample size here and see what type of block shed. So now we're going to call that 3-for-4. So 75% so far for Rodney Hudson. Had a good start so far. Continue running it here. Block shed again. Now we're 3 for 5. 75%. Now dips to 60% success. Another block shed. So right now we're now 50%. So far, I mean, our first reps were 3 really clean, and then we've had 3 pretty poor. All right, so now we're back over 50% there. It looks like we're now 4 of 7. Lights up there. He's actually getting pretty well beat by Rodney Hudson from what I'm seeing right now. This is looking pretty good so far. Right there, we'll call that a win for Calais, even though he didn't make the tackle. I apologize for any of the noise in the background, fellas. We'll go ahead and make sure that my servers are muted here. Go ahead and run another example here. There's a block shed there. So we're looking like it's about pretty close to 50%. Again, pre-weighted on that 3 of 3 to start. Since that 3 of 3 to start, it's been the defense's favor. There's another one. So to me, I mean, it's kind of looking 50-50. We'll continue to run it. I'm trying to not give an opinion too much, more so just report on what's happening. Yeah, we're starting to see the defense is starting to win a little bit more consistently against the offensive ability. So we'll go ahead and do a couple more reps here. There's another, I mean, yeah, he's pretty consistently winning now. It seems like he's been winning over the last like 8 to 9 reps. Now, again, I know that for the purpose of a YouTube video or any type of test, you need a very statistically significant sample size to prove or disprove. But what I'm seeing right now is that the run stuff ability, or the inside stuff ability rather, is winning the majority of the time. And it's also lighting up on ISO concepts, not just inside zone. So, you know, one way or the other, no matter how you're looking at it, there's some confusion going on in terms of how that ability works, what concepts it truly applies to, and what information we're actually given by EA in terms of, you know, whether or not you should use that ability. So we'll go ahead and do this here. See, he's won pretty consistently for like the last 10 reps against Rodney Hudson. The first 3 looked so promising, but I think I've seen enough here to kind of say, okay, is 50% enough? And if you told me right here, right now, you can run dive, you've got a 50% chance for, you know, this much money. You've got a 50% chance of picking up a yard. You got a 50% chance of an instant shed. I'm going to say that's not, you know, that's basically the way I look at it, right? So, you know, that's kind of the logic I'm going to use here in terms of that ability. Very confusing, but let's just call it what it is. It's very confusing that the inside stuff ability, one, is actually applying on ISOs and not just the inside zones, as it says in the write-up on the game. And 2, that even if true, the secure pass protector helps 50% of the time against that, even though it's a pass blocking chem. Now, just for the purpose of this, let's go ahead and kick Cameron Jordan inside to defensive tackle. He's got that other ability. That's the run stopper ability. I'm not expecting a whole heck of a lot here, to be honest with you. I'm more so expecting that he's just going to dominate these interactions, but we'll see what happens. So again, I'm trying to find, you know, different sets that we can run this out of, just to make sure that we're not running just maybe one run that I'm also trying to make sure that's a one-on-one interaction too. Double teams start to throw a wrench into things, which, as we know, can be a little weird. So here's the run stopper ability against strong close dive. I want to make sure that we're getting one-on-ones here. Yeah, see right there, that in that situation, that's a double team. And that's why dive is such a good run this year, is that if you get the double team on the center and they've got that ability, it could be pretty darn good for you. I'm going to go ahead and motion this fullback out here. I just want to see, like, if we're getting isolation blocks. That's really what we're trying to do, is test ability versus ability. When you start to add other variables like double teams into the mix, it just doesn't. I mean, you see right there, it's just it's hard to find the run. You need really an ISO to test it out one-on-one. Now, obviously, let's go ahead and go back and test a true inside zone. We're going to go ahead and ditch the Cameron Jordan experiment. Let's go ahead and run like a true inside zone at Calais Campbell, go right back into that. So, whatever, we'll go back into cover 4 drop show 2. I want to run an actual inside zone. Let's try to do inside zone out of gun tray Y flex. So we're gonna see what Rodney Hudson does now in an inside zone against him. So you see right there, instant shed against the inside zone stopping chemistry in Calais Campbell. So 0 of 1. Pretty good there, 1 of 2. And I'm not really running for stick right here. We're just gonna go ahead and run this over and over. 2 of 3. Two of 4. 3 of 5. Rodney Hudson actually doing a pretty good job here in the inside zone. That one's a win for the defense. That was an instant win for the defense also. Obviously, we're not, stopping the run to the left. So, looks to me like Calais Campbell's starting to win a little bit. Wins again. Wins again. Yeah, so again, it looks like early on in the testing, the offense wins, and then later on in the testing, the defense starts to really assert itself a little bit more. Right there was a win for the offense. Kind of looking the same as the ISO, to be honest with you. Kind of about a little bit under 50% win rate for the center. Rodney Hudson gets instant shedded there. My verdict is just my verdict, but we're going to go ahead and call it there, fellas. From what I can tell, I don't think that it's significant for you to have a secure pass protector against the inside stuff ability. As we see, the inside stuff also lights up on ISO concepts, not just inside zones. And the secure pass protector, in my opinion, does not appear to, shut down that ability or counter that ability at all. But that's just my opinion. I did kind of want to save my little thought process till the end of this. Obviously Madden 20, we are playing a game that is very heavily predicated on abilities. And what we're seeing right now, 7 months into the game, is that defensive line chems are the most powerful thing in the game. Early on in the year, it was enforcers and arm bars. Now it's the defensive line abilities, where you have these guys that are splitting double teams instantly. You have these guys who are able to stop the run, the inside run stuff. And I think that, it's going to sound like I'm talking about something that is what you talk about in regular football. In real life, teams are going to try to isolate their best rusher on the worst pass blocker on the other team. You see teams do it all the time. Khalil Mack can rush inside or outside. You've seen J.J. Watt over his career line up in nose tackle, 3 technique, 5 technique, sometimes wide out at, edge rusher. You get to see these guys move around the front. But from a gaming balance standpoint, the problem is that when you only have 3 spots that you can put your abilities on, you are trying to pick up these pass rush elite inside stuff trios that a lot of guys are using on defense right now. And just simply putting 3 abilities on your offensive line does not actually counter them, because that's just 3 of the 5 spots that you can. They have the ability to move their guys to the 2 spots that you don't, and it completely takes the balance away from the game. That's just my opinion. I think that many runners are seeing this, which is fine because the run has had its time in Madden, but you're really seeing it in the pass game. In order to stop a pass rush elite living in your quarterback's lap, you either need a escape artist quarterback, or you need to have a hot route master quarterback that can put guys on a variety of short routes. And you then have to put a secure pass protector in the spot where the pass rush elite is, which now means that you are now down to 1 receiver that can actually consistently catch passes for you. Whereas you might have other receivers on the field that, have 98, 97, 99 catching traffic, really good short route running, and they're seemingly unable to create separation on short routes and actually catch the ball when thrown to them, unless they can fall to the ground without being touched. That's really the only way we see these guys catching balls right now. I think you can see where I'm going with this is that, yes, while moving your best pass rusher around the formation is real football, at some point we do have to realize this is also a video game, and the video game does need some balance. So, it would be really great if either we could actually catch the ball when we throw it to a guy that doesn't have a star under him, or we could actually block, some of these guys, because, just double teaming these pass rush elites, they split the double teams just as easily. And if we have to, if we have to take one of our abilities off a quarterback, receiver, or running back, we're actually killing the whole point of offense. The guys that are actually doing the moving of the football to block one pass rush elite guy. It really doesn't do you any favors, in my opinion, at least, to have offensive line abilities. And I know that I've seen devs say use the defensive line abilities, but if that comes at the expense of my 99 overall receiver looking like an 85 overall receiver because he doesn't have a star under him, it's just not a viable option for us. So I wanted to save my little soapbox to the end. I wanted to go ahead and just, without any type of bias, show you what the secure pass protector looks like trying to run block against an inside stop or an inside stuff ability or a run stopper ability, which, again, now it's time where I could talk about my biases. I think that's ludicrous. I think that's really, honestly, I feel like that's poor information for us to not know if that ability actually does work, to not know in the UI that's on the front end of the game that, hey, this actually does work. Whether from the defensive end, hey, this also applies not only against inside zone, but it applies against ISOs and dives. Or on the flip side, while this is a pass blocking chemistry, this will also help counter run stuff. I think maybe some moves need to be made in that realm to say this ability counters this ability, or this ability is a great way to get this type of pressure or this type of block shed against all these run concepts. So I just think at the end of the day, we need the information to be successful at our crafts, whether we're a casual player trying to aspire to be better, or an intermediate level player trying to become low level competitive, or a competitive player looking to win a Madden MCS belt. This is all information that, would have served us better earlier on in the year. And I don't mean that as to flame anybody, but, we all work in this business together and we want this to succeed. And I think transparency is key. So I'll hop off my soapbox. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, make sure to comment. Let me know what you guys think on it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.